Let's make a polymer snowman together. Mind you, I am brand new at this, but I have been obsessing over these snowmen. So I feel like a little bit of an expert who makes many flaws. But hey, thank you for checking out this video. Make sure to subscribe and like. I never thought I would ever say that. That's pretty cool. So first we are going to start with our white clay. I am taking a pretty big block of it and separating it into small pieces, working it together to heat it up, and then I am combining it all together. It really does take time to work this all in your hands. This video was well over an hour and I brought it down to under 8 minutes. So yeah, this does take some time. You're gonna roll out your ball to make it into a snowman shape, and then I just went around it and tried to mold it even better. I did have some impurities on it, so I used some acetone to clean it off. Now we are going in for the second circle, our middle circle of the snowman. And we are just grabbing all the clay that we're gonna need and start warming it up in our hands because the clay is cold. My house is cold, but the clay just needs to be warm. I am double checking that first circle and now molding our second circle. Really working on getting it sort of like a flat bottom because I've made snowmen in the past and they started leaning back, so I started flattening the bottoms out more and that seems to work. Now I'm going in with my nail tool and just going around where the balls connect, that way they stay intact and don't fall apart or fall off. I've had that happen once. I lost a head and that scarred me, so we're not doing that again. So now we have our snowman together, just really placing him firmer together, I guess. And now we are going back in with the nail tool and just really just securing everything together. And I didn't have any problems with the snowman falling apart, so I do think that using that tool helped a lot. We're now moving on to the scarf, and oh my goodness, look at this sparkly clay. I am obsessed with it. But we are gonna break it up and warm it up in our hands, much like we did with the white clay. This clay, as you can see, stained my hands so bad, but it came off really quickly with just some soap or a little bit of acetone if you want to be daring. I am now rolling it out. I should probably get an acrylic roller, that way it won't stick, but that will come in time. Just getting it pretty flat, but not super flat. You still want a little bit of clay there. I learned that thicker the clay, better it hardens. My thinner clay pieces haven't really hardened. So I'm just cutting out my scarf, rolling up everything around it. This is so satisfying to me. And then my husband gave me the idea of putting texture throughout the whole scarf and not just the ends. So I'm using this little tool here and putting texture on my ends first and then going through the rest of the scarf. I am switching directions, just sort of give it that knitted pattern. It doesn't really look knitted, but the texture, it's a cool added touch. Just dusting away all the extra clay and peeling it up. I find it so satisfying peeling the clay, and those sparkles are sparkling and they are gorgeous. So now we're just wrapping our snowman and it looks pretty good. Again, just cleaning up with some acetone and a Q-tip. And now we move on to our black clay. Surprisingly, this did not stain my hands or any of my tools. I'm surprised the blue did it more. I'm taking my cookie cutter stamp here. It's a circle for the base of our hat. And I did make this clay a little bit on the thicker side so the hat would bake better. So you can see that's a pretty good chunk of clay there. That's going to be our base. Now molding the top of our hat, And I said it in my previous video, and I will say it again. I love clay because it does not have to be perfect. Nothing about it needs to be perfect, and I love that. I mean, I'm learning. I get my fingerprints all over this, and I am mushing sides together that don't need to be mushed. Now we're moving on to the carrot nose. So we pulled out our orange. I am rolling out just a little bit of orange clay. I'm making the base thicker and then rolling out like the tip there a little to just make it resemble a carrot. It is a big nose, but that's okay. Now I am going in with this tool and just making some lines on the top for some texture. And again, just securing it. Now I'm taking the remaining of the black clay, making a whole bunch of little balls. They are going to be my coal eyes, my coal smile, and my coal buttons. So we're just going to press it on, and rewatching this video, going to edit, I realized that most of my clips were not in frame, so that's unfortunate, but we live and learn. We will get better. The snowman did look a little creepy up on the camera, I admit, but it looks cuter in person. I do realize that using these tweezer tools make a world of a difference. I had my nails on for when I first started these clay objects, and it was so challenging. So having the nails off and having these tools makes a huge difference. I don't have brown, and I ran out of my clay gray, so we are going to use black to make our arms. I'm just taking a little bit of the black clay, rolling it out, breaking it in half to get a good branch looking arm. I'm just breaking some other pieces apart and sticking them on to form my branch arm. And then just sticking it on. My first arms that I've ever made were absolutely horrifying, so these are a great step up for me. Look at that, super cute. It looks better in person, I promise. Now we bake on 275 for 30 minutes. No, I'm sorry, 25 minutes. And I realize I should have done it a little less time because I did crack the base a little, but it's really not noticeable. Oh yeah, that tool that I used to make the carrot nose details, stabbed me and made me bleed, so I have a band-aid on. Now we are glazing the top. I did not like that first paintbrush, so we went in with a new paintbrush, and this glaze makes such a big difference and makes it so cute.